So I just got done making this creepy scarecrow prop, complete with a little pedestal to mount him on, and a gory, bloody skull pile, sacrificial skull pile at his feet. This is another one of my little scarezone, portable scarezone props that I'm making. And this one is done. He's lightweight, moves in and out, comes down pretty easily. And I'll show you how I made Mr. Scarecrow here. I want to use this Bucky skeleton as the base for my Scarecrow. There's a few things I'm going to have to do to it first. I'm going to have to corpse it with some latex and cotton, and I know that by now people are probably saying, what is it with this clown and the latex and the cotton? Every video he's latexing and cotton and something, but I just say, hey, you know what? For prop making or haunted houses, it's a very useful technique, and I use it a lot. So, needed to change the way that the arm actually sits inside this stupid thing, because right now, this is why I left this one out so you could hear it. This plastic little skeleton has like this little clicking mechanism in, so its arms only go like up and down. Well, no scarecrow I've ever seen has its arms straight up and down, so I want them to go out to the side. So that's what I did. Took it apart, re-drilled the hole in a different location, and now I'm going to put it back together real quick. I'm going to start putting some of this pipe insulation on the bones of the Bucky skeleton. Just the leg bones and the arm bone. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use Gorilla Glue. So first, a little water for the activation of the glue. You put some water on it, just put a little bit of your Gorilla Glue in there. You're just using these to prop this thing open. Then you just take it, turn it upside down, plop it on your bone. You don't even need to tape this, because this Gorilla Glue will keep this in place. I am now ready to start the corpseification process for these things, but I prefer to use cotton and latex, so that's what I'm going to do here. So the first thing you do is you get yourself some of these little cheap cotton balls, and if you notice, if you get a cotton ball, you can unravel it. And again, this is basic, but just in case you've never seen this, I'll show you. So you get that piece of cotton, and you can kind of spread it out a little bit. Step 2 is you get yourself some latex, liquid latex, and I'd recommend using the, I don't know if it's called slush latex, but it's like the mask casting latex. It's a little bit heavier latex than the kind of latex you could find at Spirit Halloween. The next step, get a brush that you do not care about, because you're going to ruin this brush. You get your brush, get your liquid latex. Again, sorry, I'm going to try to whip through this. And you apply the latex to your Bucky. You start taking your pieces of cotton and just kind of, next take your brush again and you start applying the latex now on top of the cotton. My suggestion is to stipple it on, like so. Because if you brush it, I've noticed it tends to sort of stick to the brush and then pull away from the skeleton. Here you go. And then you would just repeat, and then let it dry, and then take a look at it. If you're not happy with it, you can build it up a little bit more. Getting ready to start building my little pedestal for my scarecrow prop slash scene. And the first thing I'm going to need to do is rip some 2x4s down to 2x2s. I like doing that instead of buying 2x2s, because all the 2x2s at there's like 3 local lumber stores near me, but their 2x2s are all garbage. So I like to make my own. Don't take anything that I'm about to do as the way you're supposed to safely do stuff. I am not teaching you how to use a table saw. Do it the right way, whatever the right way is. Take a class, I don't know. For for the pedestal, I need to make a front panel and a back panel. And the front panel is going to be smaller. It's going to be, oh, what is it going to be? 22.5 inches by 30 inches tall. And I'm going to make that out of the 2x2s. I'm going to do something a little bit different for the back panel. But the best way that I found to make these when working with the 2x2s is to actually pre-drill them first. I don't know what these are for. I don't remember. A little bit of wood glue. I like having 2 drills going. So this is what the pedestal looks like so far. That's going to be one tall scarecrow. But I took the back panel and the front panel that I made, and then I just screwed 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood to the sides. So although it won't do anything for the 2x2s, I also offset that plywood so it won't soak up ground moisture into the plywood. So if you're wondering why I used 2x2s back there and left that open, that's so I can put a piece of wood in front of it, just a little strip, and a little strip down here. I'll be able to shove corn stalks through there, and they'll hold a lot better. I'm pretty happy with the way the pedestal's turning out. All I did was go and get something that's really cheap, crappy picket fence, and cut it down. There, nailed it along the front and the sides. And I thought it would look cool going like every other one with it. And then in the front, I kind of had some fun with it. Put a row and then put a few more on top. Now what I'm doing is staining it with this gray wood stain. Kind of wanted to show what it looks like before the wood stain, and then I'll show what it looks like after it. There we go. I've stained it. So that's what it looks like. Just like paint. And if you like that look, fine, whatever, man. You know, do whatever with your projects. But then you take kind of waited too long. The longer you wait, the darker it is. This is about the best example I could show you from staining these 2x4s gray to make them look aged. See, this part I haven't done yet. And this part I have. I got this wood at Menards, this picket fence. And great for me, right? Because it's all crappy, ratty, cruddy wood to begin with. But there's no way anybody would buy this garbage for an actual fence in their yard. It is the worst quality wood that they possibly could have gotten and tried to resell to somebody. I didn't even have to look hard to find bad pieces, because every piece was bad. Cracked and cruddy. I don't know, I mean, look at that. That's already split, and I got it nailed down, so it's not coming apart, but just garbage wood. Word of advice, whenever you're using anything, like stain, latex, great stuff, any of that, use gloves. Don't be stupid like me. At the base of my scarecrow, I want to make a little skull pile and bone pile. So I got these cheap skulls from Michael's craft store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pile these up in I think probably just like that. And I'm going to not grate stuff on them, but grate stuff around them and through them to adhere them to this. So grate stuff is so bad that someone even as stupid as I am never ever forgets to put their gloves on. Alright, so we got the first ones down. I'm trying to think, how did I want to do this one like this? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. So then I just take the grate stuff, spray it on the back wall there. I'm lazy, I should have probably trimmed these up, but I don't want to get too much of the great stuff on the skulls themselves because I'm going to cotton and latex those. And I got one more here. I also got a couple little bones I'm going to... Another cool thing to do is to take it like a little bit in your hand. I'm not going to do too much of this. I really like doing it on like the wood, you know what I mean? So that expanded a little bit more than I wanted. And it's not 100% dry. Still squishy. But I really got to move on to the next step because I think it might rain. So what I got here is some red wood stain. I think it's red mahogany? I don't know. I don't even remember what I bought. Yep, red mahogany. And I'm going to coat the entire thing in the red stain. I want to make an important point when staining. I'll show you. You don't just brush it on. This plastic stuff. So we're going to brush that on, and then we're going to leave that for a second. But more importantly, we're going to come down here to the great stuff. If you just brush it on, see how it starts to like, when I brush it on, see how it starts to separate immediately? Okay, like that. If you just, and I'll do it again, I'll even go over it twice, then watch, it just starts to separate. What you need to do is you need to treat it like you're really staining a piece of furniture. You put it on, and you wipe. And yeah, it's not that dark. You're going to have to go over it a couple times as it dries. But if you try to just sit here and paint wood stain on this stuff all day, man, you're going to frustrate yourself. It's just going to break apart. Now this skull, you do the same thing. Brush a little on, and then you start wiping. If you want it darker, you just leave it on a little bit longer, or you do 2 coats. And it started raining on us, so we got a little work stoppage going on at the moment. This is what I got so far. I've got a coat of the red mahogany on there. You can see, once you get a couple coats on there, or a coat or so, you get a little bit less separation when you put that wood stain on there. Further progress on the scarecrow prop. So with the skull pile, after I did the initial stain coat, I came back through with like a reddish brown and hit this. Oh, this is cotton and latex. I didn't show that because it's like I already cotton and latexed videos to death on this channel. And then after that, I took like a reddish brown and painted this, the latex part. Then after that dried, I took like a black wash and put it all over all the great stuff and these. I didn't wipe it off. I just put it on there, just really watered down black. And then we got the scarecrow up right now, doing some stick work on his arms and his chest. Yeah, for the purposes of getting this video out this week, I'm going to have to call this prop done for the moment. Even though there's a few more things that I'm going to do to it as far as adornments, decorating it up, distressing that overcoat a little bit more. I'm going to get some stuff like hay or straw or something to also have coming out of that coat. But I'm going to call it for this because, as you can see, it's very gray out and it's going to rain like the rest of the week, so I wouldn't be able to finish this till next weekend, and it's been a while since I've gotten something out. So I put the sticks up through it more as a gag than thinking that it belongs. I mean, I realize it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's what I wanted to do. It's just having fun with it, which is all you should ever do with anything you make. Have fun with it. Oh, I had the blood running down from his mouth onto the skull piles. And so as you can see, I only put blood, you know, where I thought the blood would hit and then run down the other skulls. The little gore stuff here I bloodied up. And there's some touch-up work that I got to do once this all dries. Like some touch-up work down in there where I could see the great stuff. But I'll do that later. One thing that kind of drives me nuts with fake blood, I'm trying to think of the best example of it. Okay, so right here. So I didn't put blood here. Sometimes people tend to, like, if they're going to make a bloody prop, they just cover the whole skull in blood. Which, yeah, I mean, if it was a freshly skull you just ripped a face off of, it would be like that. But I like sort of being able to see the subtlety. So the blood stands out more when there's less of it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But not too bad. This one, I had a lot of fun building this one. So anyway, I'm going to do, I think, in the next couple of weeks, I might have like a popcorn machine, escape room thing come out next that I've been building that's almost done. That might be the next video. I know that's not haunt related, but it was kind of an interesting build. But the next haunt thing is either going to be like an old-fashioned wheelbarrow type prop, or it's going to be like a pumpkin stand, like a produce stand. I got a fun idea to do with that. So it's going to be one of those two things. But in the meantime, hey, thanks a lot for watching this. Hopefully, I don't know, it either inspires you to make something better, or make the same thing, or hopefully maybe you learn something, or you're just passing time. Either way, thanks for watching.